Welcome to Show Village. We're at International Builders Show. We're about ready to start the demo of Big Dog Construction for Tapco Tools. My name's Heidi Ellsworth. Here you go. This is going to be amazing.
For a phone, and we're not in the business of selling products. We're in the business of giving away information. So some of the information we're going to give away today is how to properly flash a roof in various parts. So along the edges, along the valleys. Aaron Jones is going to show us how to bend some critical roof flashings. I think he's even got a valley flashing I've never even seen before, and I'm pretty old. And then Kelsey Spencer is going to be the one who is going to be installing all of those products. And I think I have my friend Michael Anschel over there, who's the star of Building Resilience, the hot YouTube show. I'm going to get out of the way and I'm going to let you guys do the work, because clearly you're funnier than me. Nobody said anything about work? Okay.
It's only work if you're not having fun.
Get to play.
Oh, okay. Well, then we're just going to have fun. All right. Let's start.
What are we doing? We're starting. Let's start with what this thing.
Get a lot of advertising. Okay. Well, this is cool. This is sheer magic. That's what this is. So this happens to be a Tapco brake, and it literally will perform metal origami. So if we have some basic skills, we're capable of making all types of different profiles. So whether it's critical flashing details like we're going to cover here today, or you want to do siding trims, literally, your imagination is your limit of what you can do with this. So this happens to have a coil stock holder attached to it, which is extraordinarily handy.
It is.
If you have ever rolled a coil stock out on the grass and tried to make a square cut and deal with holding this without getting it dirty, damaging it, dimpling it, it doesn't work. But as soon as you upgrade to the sidewinder, it is amazing.
So you just. I'm sorry, I just got to stop you because I've been around a brake before, but you just flipped down two things.
I'm trying to go to work.
I'm trying to help the people learn about this whole thing.
All right, that's half of why we're here.
This is something new from Tapco, is it not?
This is relatively new from Tapco. This is the Tapco tape. So it has a couple of stops set on here so that I can just automatically set this to what I want. In this case, 8 inches. I can use the cutoff tool, which rides on this rail of the anvil. An 8-inch piece. 8-inch piece.
That's pretty slick. I feel like you spent a lot of time.
No, it gets better, Michael. It gets better.
Oh, there's more?
It gets better. I don't have to think about it, and I can repeat it. So if you're breaking down stock, this saves you some time, because I can 5, 10, 15, 20 pieces when I'm ready, break it all down, have them all ready to go.
That's huge.
It is huge. It's a time saver.
Not thinking is my favorite activity.
That's what it's about. Put on a podcast or listen to, Building Resilience.
Or if you've got someone on the job site that you want them to break it down, you're not relying on them measuring each time and it being accurate. It's going to be repeatable, the same.
Set it to 8 on the cutoff scale, set it to 6 on the cutoff scale for whatever you need.
Yeah.
And then the other side of the scale is for bends. So one measurement has already got the offset for the cutter built in,
okay, and
the other comes right off the nose of the anvil. So if I want to do a bend at 1 inch, 2 inch, whatever, it's there for me.
Well, pretty slick. So what are we going to bend first?
I think we should start with a drip.
Okay. A drip. You got to say
a drip edge.
What? Drip what?
A drip edge.
A drip edge.
Some people will call it an eave trim or a starter flashing. Depends. Mostly what this boils down to, it depends what type of roofing material you're putting on. If you're doing asphalt shingles or some type of conventional roofing, it's going to be a drip edge. If you get into standing seam or some of the composite roofings, it's going to be an eave trim or a starter trim.
Fantastic. So we start by hemming the material.
We start by hemming the material because nobody likes to cut themselves. And also, it's a great way to hold around your finished color because you don't want to have either the aluminum or the wrong color exposed.
And it gives some rigidity to the material as well, so it's a little less floppy, right?
It absolutely does. And again, that depends on the gauge of material you're working with. For demonstration purposes here, we're using a trim coil stock. This is not what I would use if I was bending a drip edge for any of the roofs that I install, or that Michael installs for that matter. But anyways, back at it here.
So I can see Kelsey's already got a jump on us here with a pre-bent one. That's pretty slick. So it looks like it heads out into space, then back, then down, and then back out into space to kick that water out way away from the building.
Well, you want to keep it away, and because of the brake, I can bend whatever profile I want. I can change the dimensions of the legs. So even if you're doing, say, asphalt shingles, you want to get this leg that I'm about to bend out over top of the eavesdropping, but maybe you live in a high wind environment and you don't want to have those shingles hanging out over top of the drip edge because you want to protect them from uplift of wind. This gives you that ability. You can do whatever you want. Or maybe you live someplace where stuff just always comes to you damaged. So you just bend your own.
So, I'm sorry to interject. I can't help but notice that whoever installed the roofing underlayment went over the corner there. Is there a reason for that, or was that just a dumb mistake?
There's pros and cons to this method. There's pros and cons to this method.
So let's talk about it, because
Well, for starters, you're a pro.
Pardon me?
You're a pro.
I'm a pro. I think I'm a pro. Wednesday to Friday, not Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, I like to bring my underlayment down over the sheathing to fascia connection. So I bring that down, wrap the framing completely, so that I don't have any air that's able to get between that initial, like my ledger or my sill and up under the sheathing. So I look at it as a more complete detail. But if there's a drawback to it, I should know about it.
Well, I would say the drawback is not putting it there. The question is, how do we put it there? So what I like to do is I like to have either a cut down roll or a strip of tape, and I will install my strip of tape across there, so whether it's 9 inches or 12 inches. So I cover that connection, I cover a portion of the fascia, I cover a portion of the roof. It sticks up beyond my drip. I install my drip, and then when I put my roof underlayment down, it comes down and it seals to my drip.
Got it. So you're able to flash in the drip.
Flash in the drip.
That's cool.
Nice. I was thinking
Different
we would
ways.
just.
Thanks, Dan.
I was thinking we would run a strip above this to seal that in.
And you can do that.
Yep. But
Can do that.
your solution's even
Well,
slicker. I'll make
I
an
just,
animation about that.
if I can do a shingle lap style, I do a shingle lap style.
Well,
Gravity doesn't like to be beat.
It's true, but that's a good point, Dan, because depending on the sequencing of things and what's going on in your project, right, you may have your roofing crew came out and they want everything to be watertight, and your siding crew's coming out later, right, or your metal roofing crew's coming out. Like, the sequencing matters. Peel and sticks are nice because you can stick one peel and stick to the other. They're designed to lap over each other and stick. So I could be this way so that I'm dry. We come and install this, and then we can still add another strip. There's nothing that says we can't do that, and it'll still work.
So the thing is usually I'm there the entire time. So sequencing's not an issue because I just have to have morning coffee with myself, and we can make a plan. Because I'm usually the siding and the roofing crew, but that's okay.
If anybody wants to take a look at any of these flashings that Aaron's bending, I'm going to set them down here in front.
And if we're done on time, I'll stick around and bend some more.
Sweet. All right, so what's next?
Well, if we should head up the wall.
Okay.
Start making our way up the wall. Maybe we should.
Are you going to bend my favorite flashing of all time?
You mean a step flashing?
No.
Well, wait a minute. How does your favorite flashing start?
It looks like a step flashing.
It starts as a step.
But it's like a cicada. It starts one way and then it undergoes like a
magical transformation.
Magical transformation.
So this is nice. Hey, I saw this tip on YouTube years ago. We brought it to the Pro Tradecraft demo stage, and we've been doing this for quite a while. Aaron just added another really great aspect of it. clamp it in place with the brake before you try to bend it. That never occurred to us in previous years.
I have a fancy tool for this that I use on standing seam roofs, but you can literally do this with some needle nose pliers. I believe you have some here somewhere.
We do. And this afternoon at 4 o'clock at the Skills Challenge, we'll give people an opportunity to bend this exact thing.
So, whether you crush this in the brake, or you take this down on the ground, and you literally hammer it flat, it doesn't really matter. But once this goes on the wall, Kelsey's going to put one in. Anything that's running down that sidewall connection, it's going to force it out and away. You don't want anything running down that wall. If you've done any amount of renovations, I guarantee where you've seen this connection, you've run into something that you don't want to run into that's affected the budget. It's called rot.
You're going to make a fancy kickout flashing now.
Well, if you like the siding guy, or you know him, you cut that corner off, just makes it a little bit nicer. And you can trim this edge up too, if need be. And again, you have the brake, you have the metal, you can change the dimensions of this, work this around so that whatever type of eavesdropping system you're using, that you get enough projection and that you're directing water where you want it to go. We all know water's the killer of buildings, so if we can manage it, put it where we can control it, in the eavesdrop, it's far better than running down our walls.
So you know that kickout flashing is code in a lot of municipalities and counties across the country.
Which is amazing.
Which it should be really everywhere.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks will go and they'll take a piece of step flashing and they'll cut it to make the bend. And then they'll come back with some sticky stuff thinking that will do the trick. When in fact, bending it, I think, takes less time, but it's a super inexpensive piece of insurance. I mean, of all of the flashings, our drip edges are really important. They keep water from running down the face of the building. But we've seen so many houses get destroyed right at that roof-to-wall connection.
Absolutely.
And it's a 80-cent part that takes all of a minute to make.
Well, even if you're using your scrap metal, it's essentially free.
Yeah, right?
It's essentially free. And I've said this for years. You know, we've got $100,000 worth of damage on this building for the lack of 5 minutes and firefighters. And that's usually what it boils down to. Somebody missed a critical flashing detail
This is
at the time of construction. Would have taken very little
This is
time,
Heidi Ellsworth, and we are
cost very
here
little money.
watching the demonstration with Big Dog Roofing, or Big Dog Construction, and also Tapco Tools. We are getting ready now. We're going to head back inside to Central Hall, to be in the Westlake Royal Building Products booth and bring you more interviews. Stay tuned.